Well, Leamington recorded their first 3 points of the league season on Tuesday nights with an impressive 2-0 victory here against Brackley Town. The Breaks will be looking to capitalise on the momentum created from their positive start to the season as they welcome Curzon Ashton to the Phillips 66 this afternoon. Ashton have had an equally impressive beginning to the season with 1 win and a draw. They match Leamington's record coming into the 3rd game of the campaign. It's the same 11 for Leamington that started on Tuesday night. Jack Edwards captains the side after the red card he picked up last week against Kidderminster was rescinded on Friday. Ashton always pose a stern test when they travel to Leamington, and in the past 5 meetings very little has separated the two sides, with 3 draws and a win apiece. Fixtures between these two are often cagey affairs, and with both sides having equally positive starts to the season, I expect the same cautious approach to be displayed by both managers here this afternoon. No doubt that the wind that has been causing havoc up and down the country will have a significant effect on proceedings as we head into this one. The ball is hung up in the wind and goes back to where it came. Clark will flick this forward. Anderson controls it well. Edwards getting to stay on the deck. Leamington will continue to play. Goodger towards the back post, and it's a deft touch by Ollie Thornley that took it away from Murphy. It will be a Leamington corner. Murphy raised his left hand before drilling this in. Thornley got his head to it, and the flag goes up, penalising a Leamington player as Cameron Mason has stayed down in the goal mouth. And the medical team have been called, and the Curzon Ashton players are really not happy about something that went on in that penalty area. And now the linesman and the referee having a small consultation amongst themselves. It wasn't quite clear what the coming together was, but the referee will call a player over now. Junior English is the first player to go in the book on the 5-minute mark. He'll be on a tightrope for the remaining 85. Joe Clark raises his left hand before sending it long into the Curzon Ashton penalty area. Well watched by Ali as he clears up towards Wall. See his advancing run of Elstone. English able to clear up towards Murphy. Good footwork from him, driving away from the Curzon Ashton right hand side. Murphy with a teasing ball across. The last touch was off a Curzon Ashton player. It will be a corner. Good play by Leamington, turning defence into attack in a heartbeat. Jordan Murphy, the architect of that move, just turning away from 2 grey shirts and delivering a dangerous ball into the penalty area. Ollie Thornley coming forward for Curzon Ashton. It's Askew seeking the run of Elstone down the line as it's hacked clear by Joe Clark. Ali had to watch that wayward header, and it'll be picked up by Jack Edwards, immediately seeking Cayman Anderson down the left hand side. Anderson looking to take on Andrew Halls. Anderson with the luminous orange boots. Murphy's waiting at the back post, not enough power in the header to really trouble Cameron Mason, but that was well worked by Cayman Anderson, but Jordan Murphy unable to get any real powerful contact on it to trouble Cameron Mason. Cagey affair with not really any chances of note so far. Jordan Murphy arguably coming closest with a tame header. Here's Goodger, that looks towards Edwards at the back post, who's peeled off. Edwards wins the ball, wins the header, but can't direct it into the path of Murphy. Jordan Murphy then swings this in for Leamington. English rising. It's helped away on the edge of the penalty area by Merrill. Will come out to Callum Gittins. Gittins inside to Edwards, who looks to flick on. Well charged down by Josh March. Anderson will measure the cross. It's a teasing ball. Vital challenge by Mo Ali as Junior English was waiting to tap home for Leamington. Joe Clark then standing over the free kick in a similar position where Leamington scored their opener on Tuesday, as Edwards rising, looking for the head of Josh March, but once again Edwards peeling off at the back post, posing a permanent threat from set pieces. Anderson just unable to connect with Edwards' flick on, and once again Curzon can clear it. And it's a great ball through towards Saunders. Weaver retreating. Saunders with the effort. Fantastic save by Jake Weaver, and cleared as a safety by Junior English. Callum Saunders measured the effort, but it's a fantastic stretched out right hand by Jake Weaver. And now the referee is happy with the distance. English restarts play with the throw-in. It's up in the air by Robert Evans, flicked on by Joe Clark. Will break in the midfield for Murphy. He's done well to win the ball there. It's a cracking ball by Cameron Anderson. Josh March in a foot race with Ali. March goes down. The referee points to the spot and awards a penalty to Leamington. Well, it was a tale of two wingers in the build-up to that. Murphy winning the ball well in the midfield. Cameron Anderson with a cracking ball. First time with his right foot, just bending it around Mo Ali. He knew Josh March had the pace to put Ali under some pressure, and boy did he do that, forcing Ali into the collision. But that ball from Cameron Anderson there cannot be underestimated. It's a fantastically well-measured ball from the number 11. It's March against Mason. And March slams it into the top corner. Absolutely no doubt from the Leamington number 9 as he picks up his second of the campaign. His first here at the Phillips 66. As Leamington look to continue their fantastic start to the 2019-2020 campaign. And it's Josh March from the penalty spot who picked himself up after being, bundled over by Mo Ali to finish the penalty in spectacular fashion. And it's Leamington 1, Curzon Ashton 0. Luke Merrill with an unorthodox turn that turned out quite fortuitous for the number 10 as Elstone making tracks down the left-hand side, pursued by Jordan Murphy. English goes down, and English has already been booked here, and this looks to spell trouble for the Leamington right back, who receives his second yellow and is sent for an early bath. Well, Elstone has been threatening down that left-hand side all first half, and it looked like English just stumbled more so than went in for a challenge, but he caught Elstone fair and square, and the referee had no doubt to pull out the second yellow, which equated to the red card. And Leamington, just after taking the lead, now have to defend it with 10 men as Junior English is sent to the dressing room. Edwards trying to rise. Evans needs to be careful there, almost caught in possession on the edge of his own penalty area. Lane will hook it back in towards the edge of the Curzon Ashton 18-yard box. Now they can come down the other end with Merrill. Merrill looking for the run of Walls. Walls gives it back towards Merrill with the effort. Hood with a miscommunication there with Jake Weaver, who had to react very quickly to turn that round the post. And the man advantage for the first time proving fortuitous for Curzon Ashton, with Wall making the great run down the right flank. Bit of frustration just creeping into the Curzon Ashton side now. They still have plenty of time. Need to get back into the dressing room and regroup, as do Leamington. First time for Weaver drop kicking into the wind, and it's quite a solid one from him as Jamie Hook can take on his chest under pressure from Saunders. Does well to find Jordan Murphy on the left-hand side. Turns to face Halls now. Up in support is Edwards. Plenty of green grass midfield for him to run into. Takes a shot on. Deflected behind for the corner. Well, the pitch just seemed to open up for Edwards there. Plenty of space for him to take one or two touches before pulling the trigger. And it was blocked behind by one of those grey shirts. Edwards, Hood and March, the players inside the penalty area, as it's delivered into the box. It will come back out for Jordan Murphy. Looking to take on Rowe. Skips inside. Jordan Murphy still going left foot. Just got under the effort as he punches the floor in frustration. But Murphy, really good work from the winger there, just skipping past a few Curzon Ashton challenges. Just got under the effort over the crossbar. Mace just being caught under the ball there. It's thrown towards Saunders, takes it well on his chest. Hood in pursuit of Merrill, into the penalty area, flashes a ball across the face of goal. No one gambling for Curzon Ashton, and it rolls behind harmlessly for a goal kick, but Merrill really got the better of the Leamington defence there. Wall then, edge of the penalty area, back to goal. He'll lay off Askew. Askew first time ball in towards Evans. Cleared away by Connor Goodger. Curzon Ashton just trying to link some passes together on the edge of the Leamington penalty area. Didn't quite come off for them on that occasion, but now Wall may be in here. Left foot. Askew, chance to shoot. Will Elston just slicing his effort wide, just let the ball run across his body just a bit too much. But positive play from Curzon Ashton on the edge of the Leamington penalty area. Weaver once again slicing towards that right hand side. Bannister is under it with Callum Gittins. It's the Leamington man that wins the header inside, and Clark can slam it clear over the halfway line, up the line, and Josh Marsh looks to be in behind, and Thornley dragging the Leamington striker back. It was the linesman that flagged the foul, and Thornley with the latest recipient of a yellow card and the latest name to go in the referee's book. But Josh Marsh doing very well there, just a spin away from Thornley. And now it's March, very much an isolated figure up there for Leamington, doing his best to retain possession for the breaks. And now Miller will come forward for Curzon Ashton and sweep it to the right hand side to Sinclair. Sinclair drifting inside on his left foot. Reverse ball in towards Merrill. Halls stands up into the penalty area. Saunders was rising. Two solid hands in his back there, nothing given by the referee. And Clark can flick away. Evans shapes to shoot, does drive towards goal, and swept away by Keane. March touches on beyond Thornley and will give chase now down the left hand side. And Josh March doing so well up there, and now the Leamington players are furious because Thornley received the yellow card not too long ago for a similar challenge on Josh March. I think they're saying, well, if our player Junior English received 2 yellows, why isn't that a second bookable offence? But the referee is unmoved. But very much a last warning for Ollie Thornley. The Curzon Ashton centre-back is on very much on a tightrope for these remaining 14 minutes or so. Mason straight towards Gittins, but his touch escapes him, allowing Evans to latch on in the midfield. Askew pursued by Callum Gittins, who's worked awfully hard on that left hand side. Askew making his tracks into the penalty area, well tackled by Mace, but it only comes out to Evans. Miller now shapes to shoot, does drive towards goal, and it's in for Curzon Ashton. And it's a cheer of relief more than anything for the away side as Jamie Hood receives a yellow card in the celebrations. But it was a venomous drive from Sean Miller, the substitute. Picked it up on the edge of the penalty area, drove it towards goal, took a few nicks in its way through, deceived Jake Weaver. But Curzon Ashton have their equaliser 5 minutes from time, and it's Sean Miller, the substitute, from distance, and it flew past Jake Weaver as Curzon Ashton seek to take all 3 points at the death here at the Phillips 66. In comes the corner kick. He's kept alive by Saunders. Comes out to Evans, and it's whiskers wide. Deflected behind by a Leamington head. The Nash can come forward maybe for one last attack. Miller gliding inside, still inside his own half, now just taking the ball over the halfway and stumbling slightly before offloading to Evans. Here's Askew. Whatever Curzon want to do, they need to do it quickly. Just 30 seconds remain of the additional 3. Here's Sinclair. Sweeps out wide towards Hall. Plenty of grey shirts in the penalty area waiting. In comes the ball. It's Saunders! And was that the chance for Curzon Ashton? Callum Saunders just couldn't keep his effort down, glancing the header towards goal, but couldn't quite direct it on target. A free header for Callum Saunders. As Gittins will watch that bounce onto the shed. And in the end, spoils are shared at the Phillips 66. 1 goal apiece, 1 point apiece. Leamington just couldn't quite hold on. They defended superbly throughout the second half with their 10 men, but finally the Leamington back line was buckled when Sean Miller released a venomous effort from the edge of the penalty area into the bottom corner. And in the end it's finished Leamington 1, Curzon Ashton 1.
So Josh, you had nerves of steel out there stepping up for that penalty. How did you feel when it went in the back of the net? relieved, to be fair, because the lads started off quite slow, so he took a bit of pressure off us. With the wind was a joke. Made us push on, settle it down, and then especially with the 10 men, we had something to hold on to for the rest of the game.
So now your second league goal and your first home goal in the league. How do you feel about that one?
Yeah, it's good to get off the mark, and it's kiddie, to be fair. It settles you down, especially with penalty today, knowing the keeper would know where I was going to go, so I lifted it. Luckily it went in the back of the net and then got the point in the end. Bit disappointed we didn't get the 3 points, because I thought the lads grafted very well, but in hindsight a point's well deserved. Bit disappointed, but 10 men, what can you do really?
So Paul, very hard game out there today considering the weather conditions. Are you happy with the point?
Yeah. When we look at everything, listen, we know we've had some difficult days here with the weather, the wind, but not normally in August. It's straight up the middle of the pitch. It's killed the game as a spectacle, really. It's made it really difficult for the players to get any control in the game. I did speak to the referee before the game about when it's like this. It is difficult for players. It's difficult to judge things, and I think that's why there's 1 or 2 missed time challenges at times, because it's really, really difficult, and you're asking for people to consider that when making decisions. And listen, the boys are fantastic. To play 10 men for 60 minutes, 60 plus minutes, but then for 45 minutes coming out with that in your face and having to deal with that. And that's on the back of 2 really hard games, where, Josh Marsh, when he came off, he could barely walk, and that's we've had to get we've tried to get a bit of fresh legs on. Gitto's done a great job with the balance of the team. We've defended our box well, and we were so close to another fantastic 3 points, but at sort of a half hour today, if somebody had give you 1-1, you'd have snapped their hands off, because you knew what was coming with the conditions and the 10 men. So it's a really good point for us. And like you say, lots and lots of character there today, so I'm delighted with it.